What's going on YouTube? You guys know who it is. It's your boy, Mr. Favorite Guy, Tyree Grant, coming back to you guys with another video. First, want to appreciate all the new subscribers. I got a few new people, so if you guys are new, rocking with me, I appreciate it. Staying humble, appreciate that. If y'all new watching this, first, before we get into it, like, comment, subscribe, really would appreciate it. Let's try to get me to at least 100 subscribers and just work our way up, baby. But today I'm gonna do a video. Kind of go on to a little more like in-depth video. What is the best experience, I think, being 6'5" dating, right? Like, I've kind of touched on it a little bit here and there in the other videos, but I really want to go more in depth with it today and just give you guys some experience, just from my own from my own experiences. So let's get into it. First thing I would say is, if you're on dating apps, you stand out, right? First big thing is, like, I feel like most women notice me right away. You can't mistake me. They see my height. They're like, oh, damn, that's a tall guy. So first thing, they're either thinking, either this guy's lying, because most dudes lie about their height on dating apps, or they're thinking, damn, this guy's tall. So right off the bat, you know what I mean? Just off jump, I don't know about other dudes, but being tall gets you more matches. I've experienced it. I've talked to some of my colleagues, some of my buddies, and I definitely feel like I do get more matches. So I feel like that's great. You know what I mean? I would say that, you know, to some degree, we are superficial people. So I think some women love that I'm tall, because I think most women want to have tall kids. So it doesn't necessarily mean if they had a kid with me, they're gonna be really tall, but there's a high probability of it, you know what I mean? So, you know, I think that's great, right? Like, it opens up opportunities. Like, for me, I think that, like I said, it gets you in the door. You know what I mean? People are more likely to meet up with you because you're tall. So, you know, like, if you meet up, I can meet up with a woman a lot easier, probably. But there's a double-edged sword on that. But I will talk about that on the opposite, on the negative side, on a different video. But it can definitely get you in the door, set up dates and whatnot. So it's great. I would say that even going on dates, I feel like the woman, like, I've gone out with, they kind of respect you more. Like, it's a subconscious thing, but I've gone on dates and they admire your height, and it's like a subconscious thing where they don't say it, but their body will just like, oh, like, this is a big dude, this is a tall guy. So if you're one of those guys out there that likes to feel masculine, powerful, you know what I mean, and just have that machismo, quote unquote, you know, being taller, women are a little bit subconsciously more submissive because you're bigger than them. Not all women, not all women care about that, but a lot of women do. Subconsciously, they'll be more submissive. So if you're the type of guy that wants your women to be more submissive, then being taller definitely helps. I definitely notice when I go on dates, women are more like, a little more tame, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Which, like I said, could be either way you look at it. I would say just being tall in general, even in real life, right? Not just dating apps, but being tall in real life when it comes to the opposite sex is you'll get more looks. Like, I could pass by a street and a girl will look at me, or I can walk into a room, or I can go into a restaurant and a girl will look at me. You know what I mean? These are grown women. But even today, right? Little kids, even little girls, like, they'll see me my height, like, oh, excuse me, sir, how tall are you? Like, stuff like that. So even little girls will ask me how tall I am. So what I'm saying is, like, it's easier to start a conversation, like if you are in public, and a lot of times guys are trying to figure out, okay, like, what are we gonna say? How are we gonna approach this woman? How are we gonna talk to them, get to know them? Sometimes, as being a tall guy, it's easier just to get the conversation going because you're already tall. So there's a chance they might think, oh, he's a tall guy, or maybe they might make a comment to you, say, oh, dude, like, how tall are you, or whatever, right? So they start their conversation for you, and then you just gotta work your way into the conversation, you know what I mean? And then maybe you can get her number, take her out, which most likely, if she's asking about your height, that's a clear sign that she's interested in you. Even if it's just your height, there's already the opportunity. She's saying, hey, I think you're tall, which quote unquote means I think you're attractive. So generally speaking, it opens the door to meet people in real life. And if you are a shy guy, then a lot of times it's easier because they'll subconsciously approach you. I even had a girl many moons ago that saw me in the gym a handful of years ago, and she didn't know nothing about me, but she loved that I was tall. And one day we actually ended up matching on a dating app. True story. And she was like, "Hey, I go to the same gym as you." And I was like, "Really?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, no way. I never seen you before." Now, I don't really remember seeing her at the gym, but she's always seen me. And she's always like, "Yo, dude, like, you're always a tall guy. Like, I think you're so cool and cute." And I was like, "Oh, really? Why did you never approach me?" And she was like, "Oh, I don't know, but I love that you were tall." And then, like, I think the next couple of days after we matched online, she approached me in the gym. I was like, "Oh, I've seen you before." Like, and we hit it off, right? Now, the relationship didn't go anywhere, but my whole point was you get admiration from just being tall. So, like, I never talked to her, never even noticed her before that, but she noticed me, right? So there's no telling how many other girls at the gym noticed me that I never really pay attention to, right? So that already gives me opportunities. Now, granted, I'm at the gym, so I'm not sitting there trying to talk and mingle and figure out who's into me. That's not what the purpose of the gym is. So I don't want you to go to the gym thinking like that's what the purpose is. But just for this conversation, like, women will notice you. You'll stand out. You know what I mean? And it's easier to feel like you're attracted, like for them to find you attractive. Now, you can be tall, but it doesn't guarantee, like I said before, a relationship or long lasting or anything like that. Like, it doesn't mean none of that. I'm just saying initially, if we're just going off the first instances of connecting, it's a great bonus. It's a great tool to have, right? And I have had many first dates just because of my height, just because I was tall. They never lead anywhere. A lot of them never lead anywhere, I should say. But it definitely helped me get dates that if I was probably like a 5'7" dude, I probably would have never got from the jump. You know what I mean? But I was able to get it because they liked my height. And you know what I mean? Take it how you leave it, however you want to look at it, right? Like, I'm gonna do a separate video on the biggest con of being tall. And more in depth on that, probably in the next video. But yeah, just being tall is great. In a sense of dating, like, it gives you the opportunity that maybe a short guy wouldn't have, which is kind of unfair, but it gives you a level up because you have something. Like for example, for me, right, I was 5'7" or 5'8" or 6 foot or 6'1" at one point in my life, right? A guy who's 5'7" can't claim to be 6'5", right? He can never say he was 6'5", right? But I can claim I was at least every inch to 6'5", you know what I mean? So it depends how you look at it, you know what I mean? But anyways, that's enough ranting. Hope you guys get the message, get the point of what I'm trying to say here. Those are definitely, I would say, the biggest pros of it, being tall, especially when it comes to dating and when it comes to dating women. Also, I also want to say this really quickly before I get off here. Even the tall women like you. Like, so, you know, you can meet women that are 5'9", 5'10", 6 foot, 6'1", even 6'2", sure. And you're like, for me, like, I'm still taller than them. So women love to wear heels and they want to still feel feminine and they want to feel like, you know, you could be their protector. So that's also a great pro, is a subconscious thing where it's like, oh, like, he's still taller than me. I'm a tall woman and I'm wearing heels. Oh, and he's still eye to eye with me or still taller. That's amazing. So yeah, those definitely work. But there's still so much more that goes into dating women than just height. But we'll get there eventually, right? But if you guys have watched this far, I appreciate it if you like, comment, and subscribe. And give me your feedback. Let's grow this channel together. And thank you guys for watching. This has been your favorite boy, Mr. Tyreek Rants. Peace.